Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon Live. Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hi, and Keeping It Real. I can't even talk. I'm down here in Florida in the hot sun. You see, it's working on my brain already. But hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And hello to my co-hosts.
Hi.
Vanessa and Dr. Tiffani. How y'all doing?
I'm good. Need some of that hot sun you got.
Oh, yes, it's 90s.
No, that's too hot for my brain. You see, I can't even think and talk. No. But look, we got some hot topics to talk about tonight. I'm so excited to talk about these topics tonight. So I want to start off with the first one. There was this man and woman. This man bought a house for him and his wife, and it had been on the market, for a while. So he got a good buy on it. But the good buy was that I guess people maybe wasn't buying it because there was a murder that had taken place in the house. So he got a good deal on it, so he bought the house. But he just never mentioned to the wife that somebody had been murdered in the house. He just bought the house for them because they had gotten married and everything. So he thought it was, good if they get the house. So I don't know how she found out later, I guess through the neighbors or somebody said something about the house or whatever. And she found out that the murder had taken place in the house. So she got upset with her husband, but not telling her, so she left him. And I'm saying, is that cause to leave your husband because you found out a murder had taken place in your house and you already been in the house for 5 years?
No, I mean, I wouldn't leave my husband, but I would say we putting this house up for sale.
I wouldn't say it.
But why would you put the house up for sale? Because I mean, you've been there 5 years already.
I didn't know.
Nothing has happened. You like your house and everything. So that's no reason for you to leave your husband. I'm gonna leave my husband because I found out somebody died in the house.
I think that was a shorter boat the camel's back. It was something else going on, and it was just her excuse to beeline and get up out of there. So I think it's much more than that, But I'll get rid of the house too. But I think it's much more than just leaving. You don't just leave. When you divorce and leave people, it's because of a reason, right? Something you cannot resolve, not just something that was a murder in the house. So I think it's much more than that.
Right, but okay, say it wasn't anything else, and you just found that out. I mean, is that serious just because you found out someone had died in the house you bought? Because I'm pretty sure the houses that we purchase and people purchase, something has already happened in those houses that you don't know about.
No, of course something happened, but it's just the idea of knowing. I'd rather not let that be disclosed to me that something happened because I'm just that type of person. I just get eerie. That's why I would be like, we have to sell the house or rent it out, do whatever. I got to go.
Well, I already talked about this house that I got. So one thing I found up in here. So I just got to take that one for the team and just, I'm good. I've been good for the last, I don't know what it was, last 9, almost 10 years with cases. This particular.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you found the house and it was a good buy, a good price, and everything, and you bought the house, I don't understand why, if something happened in that house previously, that you would be jump up and sell your house.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's something else. I just think it's something else
like that.
And then if you can't find another house that meets your means, then what?
Oh no, we're gonna find something. There's something out there.
Well, I think the Bible's so good nowadays. If they look at today, they might as well keep it because interest rates just go today. You just get your money back.
All right.
Well, this is what I'm saying. You had a house. I'm pretty sure it must have been a pretty nice house or whatever. And I'm sure they put a lot of money in it. They fix it up and everything and stuff like that. So, I mean, you've been doing good for 5 years, and just because you find out something like that, I just don't feel like that's enough to leave your husband.
Well, maybe they should consider renting it. Maybe they consider
that's why I said renting if you can't sell it.
Well, they didn't consider. She left.
She left her husband.
Well, I just
Vanessa's right. There was something going on because the fact is you can compromise on that. You can say rent, you can say sell, whatever. You don't have to, leave your husband for that.
Well, I don't know why you're scared of dead people for. You better be scared of the ones that's alive, not the ones that's dead.
Oh, listen, well, y'all know the line of work I was in, so that was my daily thing every day. So
this is what I'm saying. Those are the ones you better be afraid of. The dead was already dead. Well, anyway, I think she better think about it and come on back home. That's what I think she better do.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. How about think about it? I wouldn't even take her back. You left then when you realize the
well, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that. I probably wouldn't take her back either if you gonna leave her with something like that.
She tested the waters.
Something was you're right. Something else probably was going on there. Yeah. But anyway, then I'm gonna go to this next topic because it's really been, people have their pros and cons about it. This graduation protest that the students are doing, and now it's graduation time, and these students are not able to attend their graduation like they was looking forward to, because you go to school for 4 years, you work hard, you look forward to going there, marching down that aisle and throwing your head up in the air. And now with all this protest going on, now they're not giving them the real commitment like they should. They do it in individual departments, which that means nothing. That means nothing. They have the big one, so how do you feel about that? Because me as a parent, and I pay, particularly at Columbia University, I'm paying over $100,000. Now I'll be kicking somebody to put off the lawn myself.
I think sometimes these protests take things a little bit too far. And it's one thing if you got a right to protest, a right to bear arms, a right to freedom of speech, but you really impinge on everybody else's rights. So, and I agree, they are entitled to a proper graduation. Listen, I don't have enough graduations, so you want to be able to walk down the aisle and be proud of it, but then again, you spend that kind of money, like, listen, I'm going to get a refund, or something I'm going to have to give. Somebody going to have to take one for the thing, going to have to compromise or something. But I think it's not fair to the students who put in the work and not able to.
Because I just couldn't understand administration would let it get that far, that you would let it get in the way of these students having their real graduation like they look forward to.
But you might realize something like this is a cause. They're protesting for a cause. Even everybody else not on that bandwidth with the cause, so they don't really care about everybody else's rights, how they feel. A graduation, as far as they're concerned, you graduate, get your piece of paper, and keep moving.
So, but what about administration from the universities and the colleges? Because they are the ones that have the say so about what happened with graduation. So people pay their money, they expect to graduate. You worked hard. Why not give these people what they deserve at the end of the day?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was saying. Administration, that's up to them. How administration is going to allow this to happen, and now you just want to give an individual department graduation. What is that? You go to this big room in the department that they have over there, and it's small, and all the parents and stuff can't get in there anyway. They looking forward to being out in the yard where all the members and people have their speaker,
all your friends, with everyone that because it's not just people that you were that you were in the same subject area with
everybody.
You've met other people throughout your years, and you have an opportunity now to be able to graduate and enjoy this experience with everyone, and now you're missing it.
And those pictures, those memories you always have, but the photographs, right? The things physical, the tangible things that you can kind of see that, wow, this was a day. I mean, y'all was at my last graduation, and that was like that was the icing on the cake for me, It's a big thing. It's something that you can't get back.
No, because it makes you feel good. Because once they announce you have graduated, and then you throw your little cap up in the air, and you're laughing and hugging on each other. It's worth it. Because going to school ain't no joke.
No,
that's hard work, and particularly if you was working and going to school at the same time.
And I was family.
That's what I said. I worked and went to school at the same time. And when graduation time comes, I'm telling you, if they wouldn't have been having a ceremony because somebody protesting, I'm pretty sure I'd have been out there on the lawn too, getting somebody dragged.
Well, I would have been too. After I worked, I went to school and worked 2 jobs.
Exactly.
2 jobs. So yes, I better be
Exactly.
graduating.
So, and then after they cleared everybody, this is why I was upset. And I said, well, you got the people off the lawn, so why didn't you just go ahead on and have the graduation like you were supposed
Yeah.
to? What was the ideal of getting them off the lawn? And this is what the universities are doing. But me as a parent, like they would need to get together and file some kind of class action suit or something where they can get some of their money back and stuff. You paid all that money, and now you're not gonna see your kid. You will see them graduate, but not really see them like you would have seen them graduate. But everybody can't get in the department.
Well, like you said, the smaller intimate graduation doesn't allow you to have everybody in there. So if you're out in the field, yeah, you might can invite 5 family members, 10 or whatever, but in the small one, only a certain amount can come in because they have them in the smaller areas. And
then you always have a well-known speaker to come. They always have somebody well-known, famous, a celebrity to come and speak. So you be looking forward to hearing the speaker, the music, and everything. I just think it's a shame how they handled this situation.
I don't think they wanted to have a graduation, and this was using this as a scapegoat.
They let it go too far.
They didn't want to go through it. Yeah,
right. They let it go too far before they dismantled it.
Yeah. So. Well, I think the parents need to really speak up because they the one putting out the money and everything. So, I mean, I don't know where they're speaking up or they're not saying anything, but I know a lot of the students was very upset. I saw a lot of them on TV talking about it was unfair that they, couldn't have their commencement a day like they was looking forward to having it. So I'm sure maybe something behind closed doors is going to happen because I just don't understand how you allow some students to take over the campus like that. And I still don't understand how that happened the war over there.
Right, one commencement was interrupted.
Oh, the Howard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They was interrupting the commencement there, and so because I said, well, how does that happen? The war over there? Would you carry it on over here like this? I don't get it. I don't get it. How this is happening? Maybe,
of course.
Maybe I'm missing something, huh?
I said these people fighting for a cause.
I understand they're fighting for a call, but how are you interrupting stuff over here happening to war over
because here you have too much rights. Let me just make sure
well, freedom. No, they have too much freedom to do what they want to do.
Supporting it. I think they're supporting Israel. Let me not be confused. They were supporting, I think, Israel, and financially sending money or something like that. So that's why they were protesting.
Well, that's not going to stop the United States from supporting Israel.
No, the college
and the universities are not going to stop taking money for those corporate people, those foundation endowments. You think they're going to stop taking money from them? Because first of all, that helps you lower your tuition. If they don't get any money in it, you have to pay the whole full price of everything. They're not going to stop that, regardless of what you are saying. And they said that already. Mm-hmm. So now, what happens now? Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, we can't do anything about it. So they can do something about it, so I hope they do. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and finish our hot topics. We'll be right back.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
They say there are no excuses. They say to just push harder. They say to just go faster. But when we're on the field, they don't know what's going on inside us. How hard is too hard? When do we get support?
When do we raise our hand and ask for help? We need each other.
Love. You're mine.
We're back and we're doing our hot topics today. Thank you for joining us again. And let's move on with our next hot topic. I want to talk about Miss USA and Miss Team USA resigning back to back with each other. I just find this kind of strange and it's a little upsetting. I mean, I understand what they're saying, the reason they, resigned one. Now, how do I say her name? Noelia. Because of her mental health. She had to deal with her mental health. And Miss US Team is because she felt like that, she couldn't finish her term out and handle the situation. So I'm thinking maybe with the young Miss US Team, I don't know, maybe that's age limit is too young, for them to start at that age, because when you enter these kind of things, it is a lot that goes with it, and you do have to have a lot of maturity to go along with it and do the job that they want you to do and everything. And I think maybe when they're at 16 and 17 like that, I don't think they're ready. Maybe they're not ready. I mean, the other young ladies, they did it and finished their term. I don't understand what happened with these two. I was trying to understand as I read what it was about, but I don't know. I just find that strange with both of them, even though both of them said they didn't know the other one was resigning, but I think something is going on.
Well, I think the famous team resigned after Miss USA, and I think sometimes
Yeah,
a
2 days later. Yeah.
right. I think a lot of things that are hidden in these pageants that people on the outside, everyday people like you and I, really don't know. We don't really know what go behind the scenes. But my thing is, how much involvement are the parents? How are the parents involved? Do the parents know what the expectations are?
Well,
They
yeah, they know, well, at the beginning, they let you know everything that's required. What's expected of them. They tell you all of that when you come in and everything. So the parents already know. Like you said, as far as the parents, they need to be there with you when you have to go to the rehearsals, when you have to go to these events, especially the young ones. They really need to be there when they're doing it. Miss
you may
USA,
know.
she's a little older, so she don't really have to have her parents with her, but a lot of times parents will go with them wherever they have to go at and stuff.
Well,
But
the parents, the expectations. You mentioned about knowing the expectations. Anytime you take on anything of such as this, or even a position for a job, they tell you your expectations. You have your expectations of what that position may be like, but until you actually are in that seat, and then you have to deal with, the other people there, then you realize whether you can handle it or not. I mean, I don't think that it's about age and maturity. I mean, because all of that comes into play as you in your position and as you grow older. I mean, what you did at 20 or how you handle something at work is not the same way you handle it now if you're in your 30s or 40s. So it's just you learn as you go along. The thing with the parents,
you learn yeah, you're right. You do learn as you go along. But I still say you still have to have some maturity in when you're getting into these things and stuff like that. Because, like I said, in the past, all the rest of them have finished their term, and I'm sure they had some problems in between, because you are gonna have some problems in between and stuff like that. But they did finish their term. I just noticed now, not even with the package, I just noticed with anything now, it seems like the young people now cannot take the pressure of what they need to do, or if something happens to them. I noticed that in a lot of stuff, not even with this. And like I said, with something like this, things go down. And the reason I tell you I can speak on this, because I used to be in pageants. I was in the pageant to run off for Miss New York State, so I know what go on. So one of the judges came on to me, and we got into it. A big knockdown, a drag out. He said to me, "I will make sure you don't win," like that. And I said, "Okay." And I didn't pay any attention at first, but he meant what he said, and he made sure that my name was nowhere in there, right? So I went back, mistake. I call it a mistake today. Now I wish I'd have kept my mouth shut. I went back and told my father that he had come on to me, said something to me, and my father came. They had it out. My father looked at me and said, "This is finished. You will never be at another pageant again." And so then at that time, now I'm saying, I wish I had kept my mouth shut and didn't tell him anything. Now he didn't blew my career. He didn't spoiled everything for me. That's what I was feeling at that time. But see, I had the maturity to say something back to the person. So that's why I say it comes with maturity too.
Well, I think yes, it may call maturity, but I think that's something the parents need to be able to teach their young girls, the young daughters, the young ladies, because at 16 and 17, they're mature to some degree. They know for right or wrong. They know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, but they may become intimidated or scared. Okay, if I say something, I'm gonna lose an opportunity. If I don't say something, I'm being harassed. Or I don't say something, the bully in the aggressions is kind of is bearing on my mental illness, my mental health. So maybe the parents need to be able to have some, I don't know if they go through counseling, what type of sessions that these young ladies go through.
No,
But
what you
I would
said
say-
is right about the parents. What you said with the parents, yeah, the 16-year-old was, yeah. The parent has to be with them.
Well,
They have
you mean
to go
at
with
all
them.
times?
But that's
No,
what I'm saying.
in
When they
your
go to
situation,
events,
your
when they go,
father was not there, because if he was there at the pageant, at the rehearsals, whatever, then it would be no opportunity for no one to do that. They wouldn't have the opportunity.
no. See, when you were older,
right.
I'm talking about the young ones. See, I was older. I was already in my 20s. So I was older. I was already mature. But see, my father had already taught me that if somebody said something out of the way to me or whatever, for me to tell him. That's how we was taught, you know. That's why I told him. Otherwise, he would never know or anything like that. But the young ones, I'm talking about the young Miss Team USA. Yes, parents have to be with them. They have to be there with them.
But you know what? We see this not even at this magnitude, but we see it in the sports arena when the kids are underage in sports arena. These are coming on now. But this happened to you, Lottie, many years ago. This is still happening. So I don't really give homage and give to say, oh, this is the norm. No, this is not the norm. It takes a lot for these women, these young girls, to come forward, to step up, to say something, and they need to be able to kind of keep a track of disease and put things in place to protect these young ladies, because it's not just the pageants. You got even kids much younger than them that are competing in
the
sports.
films and sports, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when they go to do the contract, that's why the parents have to be there with the lawyer and everything, so you can say, well, you're going to accept that contract, because you get a contract. They give you a contract. Yes. So it's laid out in the contract. So once they read the contract, they're going to say, no, I don't want her involved in this, or it's okay for her to do this or whatever. That's why if you want your child to be in something, you have to be there with them so you can protect them. See, now I understood afterwards all of that is, what's the actress name? What was her name? Brooke Shields.
Oh, yeah.
Why her mother was always with her at all times, because you need someone to be there to make sure that things are going right and nobody's bothering you and stuff like that, because you just can't throw your child out there into something.
Of course, that's throwing them to the wolves, of course.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times that happens.
A lot of times now I recognize that we, in this generation, the younger generation, they're willing to recognize when their mental health is being affected and walk away. See, right. Older people, and we were taught generation that you stick it out. You have to stick it out. You talk back, or you say this, or you get the job done. But then you can walk away. You don't have to put your mental health at risk for a position.
I agree with you, Tiffany. But another thing, I know they all signed an NDA, but the non-disclosure. But I think it should be a limitation, right? Non-disclosure with certain things, but things outside of sexual harassment, intimidation, touching, those things should be off the table and not included in the NDA, because that doesn't come with that package, with that contract. That's not what you're signing up for. So if it's something that's coming up,
I don't think that's in no contract that you would say.
No, but I'm
somebody
saying,
touch you. I hear what you were saying, but what I'm saying is they don't know that. Then this happens like after you get in there.
No, but I'm saying,
right,
but I'm saying these need to be specified. No, but see, these things need to be specified, because these are the things that's coming out now. So when you say NDA, that people take an assumption that anything that happens, everything that happened and said can't be discussed, but it should be designated what's off the table with those NDAs.
But they can still say something, even though they have the NDA. They can still say something, even if they have that. It's just that, whatever.
Yeah, but they need to know that.
But that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, even though they tell you that, if somebody's bothering you, they should still know to speak up and say, somebody touched me. Or somebody tried to attack me, or something like that.
We assume that is the norm. They should know, but if it's not designated and they don't tell them this, and they don't really know what their rights are, they don't know how.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the people who give you the contract. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the person that's in it, and the parent should know. If that child comes and tell you something, then you better check into what they're saying.
Right, but I'm saying, okay, what I'm saying is that they just need to know that NDA doesn't include these particular things that's coming forward.
That you can speak up about certain stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, like I said, I still notice nowadays, I feel that I don't know what it is that the young people can't take pressure like the people used to be in back in the day. And I just thought they was under more pressure than the young people are today because you had more responsibility. You had a lot of stuff on you to worry about and to do, and it got done or whatever. But now it's like they just
I think you're just putting their mental health. It's not that you can take it. You're just putting it. You're just saying, I'm not accepting that. I don't have to bottle myself down. I don't have to make myself sick for a job or for whatever you're doing. If it's not working out, you can step away.
But that's what you do. This is what I'm saying. You don't put yourself in a predicament where I'm standing up there crying every day.
Well, that's how it was.
You're not going to go. That's why I say, even when people go into their job, I know you need a job, but why go to that job if you're going to be under so much stress that it's making you sick every day?
Well, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, when you need a paycheck. Yeah,
right. It's easier said than done. Just like we look at women that are abused. Why do you say in a relationship you're being abused? It's always some method to the madness. Sometimes people don't have an outlet to go out. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to turn to. They don't know who to trust. So these are all the things that people need to know what's available, what type of resources are out there, who can they turn to, who can they trust. So it's not just in these instances that these things happen, but it's just people just need to find a way to be in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But still stand up for yourself.
Yes, but
even if it's on the job, you still need to stand up for yourself.
It's easier said than done.
No, I know it's easier said than done, but you need to be able to stand up on your job, because why would you stay there until they carry you out on the stretcher? So what good was that? You can say something back to the boss. You can say, look, well, I guess that's why I always stayed in prayer, because I don't know why they didn't fire me in 40 years.
I always talk back. I said, this ain't no plantation.
I talk back to all
you got
my
honest,
bosses.
This ain't no plantation. We're not doing that here.
The only thing they could write me up on was my mouth. They couldn't get me on my work, because I was a good worker. I did my work. I was never late. They could not get me. That's the only thing they can get me on, is talking back to them.
The gift of gab.
They me out of the way, I let them know the plantation days are over.
And all right, Lottie.
Okay.
Well, this was a good hot topic.
Today. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope y'all had a good day. And thank you, Dr. Vanessa and Dr. Tiffani, for coming on and co-hosting today. So we want to thank you. Make sure you watch us every Tuesday night, every Saturday at 5:30 on Brick, and 2:30 in Manhattan Neighborhood Network. So thank you for joining us today, and always, we'll see you next time.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Would you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Faith Art Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon.